Hello and welcome inside Footprint Center after a 87-76 win by ASU over GCU alongside Damon Allred. I'm Jeremy Schnell. Interesting game here. A lot of GCU fans, maybe probably outnumbering ASU fans, but that doesn't matter at the end of the day. ASU came out with the victory. I think what I'll start with is Joson Sanon having probably the best game of his college career, definitely his career high. What did you see from his performance today, Damon?
Yeah, definitely the best game of his young career because only 4 games in at this point, we should mention. He's shown incredible growth already through 4 games, just as this ASU team is. We talked about how this team looked after the Duke exhibition and how awful that experience was. And just to be going from that to an 8-point victory over Idaho State. Okay, cool. An 8-point victory over Santa Clara. Okay, now you're starting to open up some eyes a little bit. An 8-point loss at Gonzaga. Okay, now we're talking. And then an 11-point win on a neutral site that's really more GCU than Sun Devil, as we mentioned, getting a double-digit victory over a really good GCU team. And like you mentioned, Sanon just unconscious from deep especially. 5 out of 6 three-pointers, I think it was. And really impressive defensive effort against Tyon Grant-Foster in his season debut as well. Honestly, one of the biggest reasons why Tyon had a minimized night that he did with 19 points on 17 shots.
Now, there's a lot of help defense on him, but Sanon took that assignment for a lot of the game and did pretty well. Coming off the bench, not his usual, coming off the bench, he was a top 100 recruit in this class. And to take that role and come off the bench, that's something that you don't see very often from a top 100 recruit. But he took it in stride, scored a career high, 21 points, 5 of 7 from 3. You gave him one less miss than he actually had, but he'll take it. Listen, Quainton's not a great stat sheet. Only 6 points tonight, but it was the 2 blocks. It was his pressure around the rim. It made it very difficult for GCU to get buckets in the paint.
Right. He's just an incredible defensive force already at such a young age. And honestly, with the offense, it can take all season for it to come along if it wants. But he's just going to be that defensive presence game in and game out and giving you a baseline of success, I think. And, whether the offense comes around or not, I think that's gravy on top of everything else that he's producing already for as young as he is. Plus, when you're getting enough offense from Sanon, I think to an extent you're getting enough for both of them.
You got Mason also contributing 16 points, Jihad having 18 as well. I want to go back to Quainton's for a second, though. There was that play toward the end of the game where Grant-Foster lost the ball almost out of bounds, came back, and Quainton's had him one-on-one. He stole the ball. This is the play of the game, in my opinion. Stole the ball, gave it up to Adam Miller. Adam Miller makes the layup on the other end, really putting the game out of reach for GCU, and ASU went on to win from there.
Right, and you mentioned Adam Miller. He had a really quiet night, but a great night as well. I think he hit his first 2 threes that he took, and just did a great job of keeping things stable when it felt like they might unravel. And really, I think that's the main takeaway from this game is that ASU came into a situation where they were outnumbered in the crowd. It was definitely more GCU than ASU, and they were able to fight through the runs that GCU had because they threw a couple haymakers, as they're going to do. But to fight through it and come out with a pretty comfortable victory, all things considered. They were in control for most of that second half. I think that's a testament to how this ASU team has grown already.
Yeah, Bobby talked about in the post-game press conference how it's basically night and day from that first exhibition game against Duke to where they are now. Obviously, they didn't want to lose against Gonzaga, but it only being an 8-point loss and being competitive, even being up by 5 in the second half. And in Spokane in a hostile environment, similar to what the GCU fans bring. That was awesome to see. Not awesome that they came away with the loss, but now that they're turning the page, coming into this game and being able to come out with the victory, it's good to see for ASU. Some things to work on. Defensively, they look good. Rallying to the ball. Would like to see some more ball movement a little bit on offense. Don't get too complacent. Bobby was saying toward the end of the game, I was sitting courtside and I saw that Sanon went in, drove, and he made that shot on the baseline. Bobby was saying, hey, run clock, stop, they're going really short in the shot clock. So, it's a learning experience for a lot of these guys because they just want to go out and score, but there are some situations where you can't just go.
Right, and one thing that really gives me confidence, too, is knowing that the Big 12 is a conference where if you can fight in games like this, then you can come out with a lot of wins. The Big 12 is a conference where you are fighting every possession. And, the physicality that the Sun Devils have played with through these first 4 games is, I think, enough to give you confidence that by the time Big 12 play comes, they'll be ready to step up to that challenge.
Now their next opponent is St. Thomas from Minnesota. You got to think ASU has to handily beat St. Thomas on Sunday when they play at DFA, Damon.
Right, it can't be another hard-fought dogfight against St. Thomas. When they've got the parentheses in the name, that's a team you should just beat.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to talk to you on Saturday before the ASU Kansas State game in Manhattan. Before the game, you can tune in to 98.7 FM. We will be there to give you the pregame update 2 hours before the game?
3 hours.
3 hours before the game. I always forget. 3 hours before the game, you'll be able to hear us there. And then also you'll hear us after the game reacting to everything. Hopefully ASU is able to come out with a victory. 3 more games left in that season. We're just getting started with basketball season. Not a great performance from the women's team tonight, but hopefully they bounce back moving forward, and we'll see. We'll keep you updated on how they're doing throughout the rest of the season as well. That's going to do it here from Footprint Center again. 87-76 victory by ASU. You can follow us on all forms of social media at AZ Sports Devils. For Damon Allred, I'm Jeremy Schnell. We'll talk to you soon.